Hello everybody! We are on another brand new game, and I'd like to say thank you once again to PQ for getting this to me early compared to release. I have, admittedly, this is one of the games which I have been given a free code for, which I've also bought. I pre-ordered it like the day before they sent me the code, and I decided that in all my smart brains to pay for it before I've even get to the release date. So I've got a copy of this coming with an art book that I've already paid for, but I'm already getting to play it. So this is Raging Loop, which, oh, my TV's very loud, so I apologise. So as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware, this is a game a little bit in the vein of Danganronpa, in the case that you essentially have like almost class trial type things. Basically, there's werewolves. You gotta kill the werewolves. It's a game of werewolf. I think it's like Town of Salem, from what I can understand. So yeah, we're gonna fire ahead. I am admittedly only able to show up to a certain chapter, which does mean that if I were to go over that, I could be in the El Troublino, and I don't want to be in El Troublino. So I'm only going to play up to a certain point, but that is purely to get you all interested and get you all hopefully playing the game. I'm trying to find the message I was sent, just so I can double check exactly where I can play up to. There we go. Right, okay. So I can play up to you, for you, chapter 4, up to a certain point. Okay. Oh, okay. Hang on. There is a setting for it. We'll turn it on so that we don't fuck up. Display hide buttons. No. Force unlock. Okay. Where would it be? Background music. This is all sounds. That's cool. It's fine. Clerk. Gotta have clerk. Text box. Ha. Okay. This is going well. Already able to find it, right? Log, chart, keys. Let's go back to the title. And we'll see if it's in there. See if it's in these options. Nope. Not right there. Okay. Let's not load. We don't need to load. It's brand new. We'll go brand new. Okay, brand new. Oh god, this is the chart. Okay. Okay, so is there a way for us to know? Help. Okay, so the revelation node, next choice, key list. Is there a way to do it? Is there a way to do it? Okay. I don't see nothing. Get rid of the right license information. Okay, well, I don't know where it is, so I can't seem to find them. No idea, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll continue on. I've already wasted enough time on this episode. So we got Bow from Rukako. Okay, cool. So, it's in Japanese, which means you're going to have to deal with my lovely voice, unfortunately for some of you. I bid you welcome to the world of this visual novel, Raging Loop. That's it, she's manly, as far as I'm concerned. I am nobody special, honestly. Simply consider me part of the interface. You may refer to me as Rikako. You're most likely playing this game for the first time, and I'm here to explain a few things about it. This work is quite strange, you see. It's recommended that the uninitiated even take the time to read everything here. Those uploading their gameplay should at least read the 4 videos and sharing section. Perfect. If you read until the end, you'll find a sexy CG of me. Doesn't exist. We truly do live in a society. A harsh society. How sad. Now, where should I begin? Okay, here. Start me here. Raging Loop is a visual novel, meaning that the story, events, and conclusions are very important. Because of this, it would be very troubling if someone uploaded everything to the internet. I'd be sad, very sad. Then again, we do understand those who want to enjoy the work with many other people. Because of this, we have set up a guideline for how far we would like you to upload. This range covers the whole first main route and a little extra. Okay, that's good. That's pretty good. Specifically, you can only upload the choice at 4 infiltration queue entering the village. That's a lot, so just so you know. I'm sure you'll have enough content for your uploads. I actually think it's a bit too much. Uploaders who read everything aloud might get a sore throat. Please don't overdo yourselves, alright? Thank you, Rikako. Finally, someone thinking of me. Also, if you intend to upload, please use the reminder function. Where is that? If you have it set on, when you reach a time to stop making a video, a strange sheep hops onto the screen and says end of the line. I'd be grateful if you stop recording when you see him and try theorizing and arguing instead. This function is currently set to off. Okay, reminder function on. There we go. Very well, I've set it to on. There we go. We got it set to on. If you wish to change it, please go to the O introduction and come here again. Cool, that's fine. About the share function. Okay, I'm not going to use the share function, so I don't really care too much about that. Okay. So I know. We'll go through all of it. We'll go through all the introduction. Fuck it. Raging Loop is a visual novel. Much like with regular novels, the story is told through text. If you're familiar with the party game Werewolf and Mafia, this visual novel bears a close resemblance to those, but keep in mind that it is just a resemblance. As I said, Werewolf, or Town of Salem, etc. Sincerest apologies to those who are hoping to play the eternal game of Werewolf with the 20 super AI Rikakos. I weep and bleed for you, truly, how sad. Of course, this is not merely a novel. As you carry on, you will sometimes come across choices which affect the story. It's quite amazing. The characters have lively visual depictions, as well as voices, making it easy to immerse yourself in the world. It's a shame that someone's going to be talking over these fucking voices, isn't it, dickhead? To enjoy the voices to the fullest extent, simply avoid bothering your neighbours with the sound anguish screens. Please consider using headphones. The story is obscenely lengthy as well, so please take care not to be drawn in so thoroughly that you begin to lose sleep. Also, you may be aware of this already, but Raging Loop is based entirely upon fabricated murders and horrific scenarios. It's tailor-made for all you fans of suspense, thrillers, horrors, and mystery. Of course, this is a work of fiction, so it has nothing to do with real people, groups, and incidents. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Special functions. We have a look at special functions. I'm only going to breeze through these. I'm already bored of talking as her. So branches out, yeah. But there's no need to worry. We have included a handy function called the scenario chat, which we've already seen. You can access it anytime by entering the menu, giving you an overview of the scenario. And that's not all. Using the chat allows you to move to any chapter you've already been to, anytime, anywhere. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's fine. Next keys. All branching in the story happens immediately when you make a choice. None of them start taking effect further down the line. However, some of the choices can only be unlocked when you have specific bits of information called keys. Many might say that searching for keys is one of the major goals in this game. Don't worry if you don't understand how to search for them all, it'll be explained when you have one. Additionally, keep in mind that all routes unlocked by acquisition of a key will be open even if you haven't saved after the fact. Okay, that's pretty cool, that's good. This also means that you can't load back to a state when you didn't have the key. This doesn't make any sense, seen inaccessible, so it's not much of a problem, but it's something to keep in mind. Cool, that's fine. So, I'm good. Right, okay. So, that's a pretty good introduction. Phew. I sure took a while. Thank you for kindly reading this far and skipping most of it. Anyway, let's begin the story. Beyond the pockets of mist and hazes of blood, at the end of the ever-repeating despair and grief, please come and witness the truth of the werewolf village in your own two eyes. Bow. Got a lovely drink to last me through this. 5:11. Sun. Everyone likes a bit of sun. I forgot to put myself on fucking Do Not Disturb on Discord again. A common issue. I closed in on the side of the road and killed the engine. It was steeper than I thought. My bike was on the verge of giving out, so I pushed down and deployed the kickstand. The old kickstand. Look at me. Well, I'm lost. Okay, is there a way... I'm doing the thing which I always do with these games, which is pressing every button so I figure out how to hide. I have to do it that way. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's fine. If I have to do... How do I bring it back? How do I bring it back? Okay. Oh, there we go. So, well, I'm lost. Maybe taking a ride down an unknown road with no sat-nav on me wasn't such a good idea. I just followed the road so I figured I wouldn't get lost, but now I was in some deep shit. No, cool. This isn't a big deal. I sighed, took note of the fact that I'd gotten lost in my pocket journal, and then pulled out a map. A map. Suddenly, a rush of memories flitted into my mind. I don't have the ability to do that yet, so I'm going to forget it. I somehow kept myself from remembering those things, and got a trophy. After all, I'd gone on this trip to forget. Enough of that. I gotta focus on what's happening right now. I'm gonna do something I never do actually, because I know some people get annoyed with me. Yeah, I know some people get annoyed with me having. No, just put everyone on mute. I know people get annoyed with me talking over them, so I'm gonna mute them all. So you have to deal with just me. Life is simple, just like this road. It's dark and there aren't any guides. But that means all you got to think about is whether you go forward or back. Going back wasn't an option in this case, so I just moved forward. Still, I wanted to know where I was at least, so I looked down at my map. It was all Greek to me. Last time I'd seen a sign, it was still light out. I mean, I'd gotten lost after the sun had set. Sure, it was my own fault for just guessing which intersections I'd be passing through, and that it'd take me 2 hours to conclude I was lost. Crazy to think that just 2 hours of aimless driving got me almost completely surrounded by mountains. They extended as far as the eye could see. As you flipped the scenery upside down and shook it, it's unlikely even a shred of civilization would tumble out. Besides the asphalt below, my sweet ride, and the lamppost above, the first one in a while, mind you, there was nothing man-made here. The pocket map wasn't detailed enough for me to figure out where I was. Guess I'll just keep driving. I'd go as far as I could. Worst comes to worst, I could just camp at the side of the road. Vroom, vroom, vroom. 2 hours later, I deeply regretted ever thinking that. Basically, camping wasn't an option. This mountain road had no side to camp on. A dump truck had passed by barely even fit onto it. I'd also had my first close encounters with wild forest animals. I'd already seen 2 boars and 3 deer in those 2 hours alone. One of the deer had run parallel to my bike while intently staring at me, and I had no idea what to think of that. I felt like it could smell my fear and did it just to make it worse. How dare the thing do that to a human? We're all kings of this planet, damn it. I have to remember to eat some venison when I get back to civilization. Okay, fucking sociopath. Anyway, camping out here was a bad idea. I ended up either as rogue killer animal food. And yet, I didn't back out. Why? Because I'm a pretty warped sort of guy, and I won't pretend otherwise. That's actually the reason why my once comfortable relationship had gone awry. And why I can't read the word awry. And why I'd gone on this stupid trip. Still, despite acknowledging that, I chose to keep moving forwards. It wasn't like I'd find a place to stay if I went back. I was actually starting to think that this experience might be a good conversation piece somewhere down the road. Literally, maybe. It was really getting late at this point. Where would these roads take me anyway? Country road, take me home to the place I'll get murdered. That was a really off-key one. I'm really sorry if anyone hated that. It'd probably be disappointing. Soon enough, the road became flat. I was out of the mountain pass. The forests remain abundant though, so I still didn't see much. Even so, the streetlights and signs were enough to make me feel I was again nearing civilization. Not never. Where did never come from? Was streetlights the right expression for lights in a forest? I'll have to look that up. As the road grew less rugged, I realised just how exhausted I was. All this bike handling left my hands really sore too. I really had to rest. Suddenly I saw something unexpected. Powerful, colourful, artificial lights. A convenience store? ... Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was next to an intersection between the road I was on and another. Even thinner road that could probably support only a single car. I really paused that strangely. The sea of trees ended, giving room for a majestic child of our consumerist society. Yeah, that was an exaggeration. Apparently even a damn store was a big deal for someone who just stepped out of the wild. It was called Freshmark. I'd seen several of them a few times during the day. It was probably a local franchise. The building didn't look all that old, at least. The parking lot looked a lot like a smoother compared to the rows. This was a pretty weird place to build something like that, though. Was I close to a settlement, or did they actually make a profit off of lost travellers? I'd just ask that or something. A local shopkeeper was bound to know what was around these parts, not to mention I was thirsty. So I went in and I murdered them. I am actually a street killer. There we go. I don't know why I go really dark and always end up being right, though. It's really strange. I hope that's not right. I was woken by a weird chime sound. It looked like a normal convenience store. There were goods on the shelves, a counter to the left, and... Whoa. The worker at the counter was mean-looking. Was so mean-looking it was scary. She was so imposing. I wouldn't have doubted if someone told me she was in charge of some ladies' army corps. Hey. Was that supposed to be a greeting? It's so damn cold, it actually gave me the chills. Was this store... Was this store shadier than it appeared? Was I about to be stupidly overcharged? Was this how this place made a profit? By taking advantage of lost people and basically beating them out of their money? Shit, that was scary. Clearly the Wonderland had only just begun. Woohoo. I sure was excited for the beating. I grew more nervous and less enthusiastic by the second. I braced myself, but she just looked down at a magazine in her hands. Oh, so she's just a slacker. Slightly disappointed, I walked around the store. It was about what you'd expect. There was a small shelf with energy drinks, followed by some stationaries, travel goods, sanitary stuff, etc. There were the sweets that came with toys, a shelf of cup ramen and dried food, a fridge, a freezer. It all looked normal. It was late, so the daily dish and packed lunch section was completely empty. The only special thing about this place was a section full of unpacked vegetables you'd expect to see at greengrocers. Maybe all rural convenience stores were like this? I was slightly surprised by that, but there weren't any local fine foods or anything, so all in all it was an unremarkable store if you ignored the clerk anyway. I took a drink and brought it to the register. Yep, she really was the highlight of this place. What kind of clerk smokes while dealing with a customer? You're actually buying? Yes, I was actually buying. She was a clerk and I'd be a god of the customer. 126 yen. She didn't even scan it. The exchange was at the mercy of the clerk. God is dead. Maybe I had to get mad at her. Can I ask something? Huh? I'm kind of lost right now. I quickly turned meek. Where can I find the nearest town? There. Don't you have a map or something? We don't. Man, this woman. I'm not sure I believe that. Convenience stores often get asked for directions. You must have a map handy. That a rule? Well, we don't have one. Go back to wherever you came from. I've been lost for a few hours now. I don't think I can keep up for much longer. Sleep on the floor or something. She has to be joking. I appreciate the sentiment, but I'd rather be on my way. Are you sure you can't help? Alright. Just wait. The clerk put out her smoke in the ashtray and went to the staff-only area. She came back in no time. Found it. So she did have a map, of course she did. Even more ill-tempered than normal, the clerk started giving an explanation. This here's the stalk of the north of the crossroads. You'll find an overpass soon enough. Cross it, when you come to a fork next to a giant boulder, turn right and head straight. Huh? On this road? What of it? There's nothing there. There's a settlement, it's just not on the map. Do you know any other places? There's Fujiyoshi, but that's 2 hours through a mountain pass. This one's about 30 minutes away. Fujiyoshi seems to be a village. It didn't look too far away, but the road leading to it was a huge branching mess. It was clearly just a paved mountain pass. I have enough of those for a day, for one day even. I'll probably just get lost again. I'll go that one then, thank you. Money? Excuse me? You didn't pay for the tea. Here's 500 yen. Ding, rustle jingle. Why you put the change in the collection box without asking me? Having too many coins is a pain, ain't it? That was a hell of a line. I casually thanked her, grabbed the plastic bottle of tea, she didn't give me a bag by the way, and left the store. Good, she's environmentally minded, unlike you. I drank the tea in the parking lot and looked up at the moon, obscured by clouds, but still bright enough to outshine the light of the convenience store. The clerk put me in a bad mood though, so I didn't enjoy the sight. I threw the bottle into a nearby trash can and aggressively drove away. Following the directions, I crossed the overpass and arrived at the first fork in the road. The byway she told me about was really narrow. I probably wouldn't have noticed it were it not for the tall boulder standing there like a roadside shrine to some traveller deity. Turning carefully, I got on the road. A minute later, I found myself in an even worse wilderness than before. A veil of dead leaves covered the ground, tall grass sided the path, and the sky above was blocked by overgrown shrubs, making it feel like I was passing a wooden tunnel. The road itself was a huge red flag. It was a wonder why I didn't just turn around. The exchange from before might have pissed me off more than I thought. Still, I really didn't expect the road to just end. It happened about 15 minutes in. The view ahead suddenly turned strangely dark, and a split second later, the bike tipped forwards. I reflexively hit the brakes, but it was too late. I started going down a cliff. My bike tilted downwards and its suspension was put to the greatest test yet as we basically tumbled down to the bottom. The headlights suddenly shone on some dirt and grass. I knew then that I'd be flung out of my seat into a thin beam of light. Stifling a scream, I tried to work some steering and brake magic to slow down without collapsing. But that was too big a task for a simple road bike. At the bottom of the cliff, it jumped higher than ever before. The suspension couldn't handle the impact, I was launched into the air. A moment later I heard a crash and felt an impact, after which came an unpleasant pain. I was dead. Damn it. An accident where I was flung out like this was a first for me. The launch was really something too. I did a 360 in the air and fell on my back. My breathing stopped for a moment and the pain was so bad I thought all my bones had shattered. My face and limbs seemed pretty fine at least, though I wasn't sure if that counted as a silver lining. There was grass under my hands. I felt it even through the gloves. That and the smell of green made pretty clear what I landed on. The smell of green? I pushed down and my hands sunk. The grass growth was pretty hefty. It was probably the reason why I came out relatively okay, and not fucking dead. Sure, my joints creaked when I stood up, but aside from that I was fine. It was really dark, so I couldn't really confirm it, but I was pretty sure I wasn't even bleeding. My bike, however, wasn't nearly as lucky. Oh boy. It was lying on its side a short distance ahead. The engine was still on, the back wheel kept on turning, making an unpleasant fricative noise. Yep, it was busted. I walked up, killed the engine and took the key. With the headlights off, I was surrounded by absolute darkness, so I just stood and waited until my eyes adjusted. Still couldn't see very clearly, but it looked like this actually wasn't a cliff. I was still on a road. This wasn't paved beyond this point. Obviously a road bike stood no chance against a non-paved road. That woman actually tried to kill me. Zigzagging through the forest, I followed the narrow footpath deeper into the forest. I tried getting my bike up and running again, but instantly gave up. It was partially stuck in mud, so there was the risk of slipping and getting me into another accident. Maybe I had to turn around? No, I considered that though. I saw a faint light ahead. If that woman wasn't lying, this road led to a settlement. Was I close? I reached into my jacket's pocket, took out my phone and opened it up. As you'd expect, I was out of range. I ran the light app and shone a light to see better. Though weak, it was better than nothing. At the very least, it helped me watch where I was going. I had no idea how long I'd been walking for. But sure enough, I could see a light just beyond the shrubs. It was weaker than expected. A flashlight, perhaps. I could hear water too. I might have been near a river. Hello? I raised my voice. Hello, anyone there? Still declaring my presence, I walked forwards. It was late at night. Were I to bump into someone here, the scare would probably take away a few years of our lives. That's why I figured it was best for us both to let each other know we were there before it happened. However, there was no response. Could they not hear me over the rapids? Hello? I shone my light ahead and realised I made it to an opening. Sure enough, there was a river, or a stream rather. I could see slightly more than I had surrounded by the trees. Straining my eyes, I saw a rocky river beach in the shallows. The light I'd seen was on the other side. From what I could tell, it was either a lantern or a flashlight, and it was close to the ground. I didn't see any people though. No one responded to my shouting either. I wasn't excited about it, but I decided to step into the water. The cold water quickly soaked my shoes and socks. I could have taken them off, but I figured that crossing a river barefooted at midnight was a bad idea. But man was it cold. I put my phone back into my jacket, and I had both hands free in case I fell. Not stopping or backing down, I walked toward the light. It suddenly became deeper. The water reached my knees now, and I was too close for comfort. Feeling the bottom with my toes and balancing myself, I somehow avoided losing my footing. The flow was fiercer than I'd expected. If I slipped and fell, I'd probably be washed away. It suddenly hit me that I was doing something really weird, but it was too late to back down. Putting my hands on the boulders and carefully checking what I was stepping on, I gradually made it to the other side. Then, with an unpleasant wet sound in my every step, I walked up to the light. I could already see it clearly. Yep, it was a flashlight laying on the ground for some reason. There wasn't much space here. There was a narrow riverbank with a cliff right beside it. As you'd expect, I didn't see or sense anyone nearby. What the hell? Though old, the flashlight was working fine. The strength of the light told me that the battery was pretty full. And that someone was actually using this tonight, or rather until just a few moments ago. That was the most logical conclusion. It obviously wasn't left here yesterday afternoon or evening. And yet, the user was nowhere in sight, and I was near a river. Did something bad happen? Did the flashlight's owner step into the stream and get swept away? That was the most likely and worst possible scenario. However, the flashlight was left there practically buried in the pebbles. It didn't seem like someone placed it there to light things up. It was a dead of night. There was no way you wouldn't notice dropping your flashlight when it was so dark. Right, the fact that the light source was left in a place like this was strange by itself. With that considered, what was going on here? What if someone heard my stupid shouting and decided to lure me in with a light so they could ambush me? Where would they attack from? Above? Hello? I heard a voice the moment I looked up. The rock cliff was actually made up of several boulders. There was a face peeking from behind one of them. Hello? Wow, a person, you surprised me. I don't know who it is, so I'm just going to keep it with that was my line. Sorry, could you pick that up for me? The voice was feminine. Not that you could tell so far, because he's read it in his own voice. I finally realised what was going on. So you dropped this? I picked up the flashlight and pointed at the source of the voice. High-pitched voice, slender hands shielded the light. Sure enough, it was a young woman. It's so bright. Oh, sorry, this is me, by the way. That's creepy, don't shine it from below like that. I'm actually a bit lost. I think a bit is something of an understatement, then. Yeah, thought as much. Is this a settlement? That's a difficult question. Can you help me out at least? Help? I just need a place to hide from the rain and wild animals, that's all. Standing on a boulder, the young woman made a pensive face. Want to come to my place? And that was the conclusion she'd arrived at. Her face told me she was 100% serious. Place. My place. Well, that surely meant a house, a settlement. Can I? I know I asked for help and all that, but I'm actually desperate enough to not hold myself back. Huh, as a man? Yes, I mean, no, as a living being. I spent the last few hours aimlessly driving around only to fall off my bike. I'm dead tired and I'm at my wit's end here. Oh dear, then what kind of living being would I be if I just abandoned you? And so I was saved. Well, the beauty of living beings looking out for each other. Anyway, your hand please. Huh? You can't climb up on your own, yeah? True. Honestly, I didn't even realise I'd have to. Meeting another person filled me with relief, which was followed by some wave of fatigue. It wasn't crippling, though. She extended her left hand, so I grabbed it with my own left. Her slender fingers were stronger than expected, as she broke my neck with a single hand. The girl's name was Kiemi Serizawa. You're damn right I'm going to struggle with that at some point, because it's one of them names. I asked if she was related to this... Oh my god, there's already a name I can't fucking read. Shin Sengumi guy. But she said that her family just adopted the name at some point in the Meiji period. She was a 21-year-old who went to college far away from here. This was her hometown, and she was spending her post-exams vacation here. We chatted about stuff like that. Oh my god. Words, I don't know why I was saying, I just can't read. We chatted about stuff like that once she'd led me down the rocky ravine. There was actually a proper path, so the rock climb was pretty pointless. I was too focused on my footing to comment. She told me about herself as soon as we reached solid ground. And what about you? I'm Haruaki Fuseishi, a graduate student in Tokyo College who still can't pronounce his own name. Ah, so you're a bit older. I'm 24. I'm 24, so 3 years. I'd say we're the same age range. Fuck me, he's the same age as me. Okay. Yeah, so don't you dare be formal with me. Alright, then you can be casual with me too. Can I really? I like it when girls are friendly with me, because I'm a fucking creep. Like most guys in these types of things. Well, I know what you mean. I don't like stiff socializing either. Sure, I'll treat you like a friend. Wouldn't have it any other way. That aside, are we there yet? Not quite. We're like 5 minutes away. Hang in there, Chief. What a lively girl. You could tell she was used to people. Also, what's your step and focus on just the light? Any reason? There are loads of pebbles... I nearly read that then. Misread that as something completely worse. There are loads of pebbles here. It's dangerous. The moment she said that, I stumbled on a rock too big to be called a pebble. And it's pretty dark tonight. I couldn't even see the moon anymore. Nodding in agreement, I focused on following the light in her hand. I gotta change. Wait here a sec. And so I did just that. Given this was a mountain settlement, I'd expected some old wooden house, which actually lived in an apartment block. It was too dark to get a good look at it. All I could see were the cheap-looking walls, like you'd expect from some old boarding house for students. Also, she lived on the second floor, in room 202. I'd heard some raindrops as we were climbing the rusty stairs, but now it was really pouring. Between that, the darkness, and the large tree right next to the building, it was nearly impossible to see what was going on outside. It felt like I was all alone in a world of nothing but walls, the door, and the fluorescent lamp above my head. It made me feel somewhat helpless. I distracted myself from that by imagining her changing. Eventually, the door opened up. Sorry about the wait, come in. All smiles, she showed herself, now wearing sports clothes. This was kind of exciting. Was it? Look at this place, it's completely empty, huh? Yep. But get a load of what's in the fridge. Magnificent. Let's drink. Hell yeah. Yeah, her place really was empty, and I'm also going to end the episode here. So if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below, and if you want to see more of this, then do subscribe to the channel, as I try to upload every day. There is a link in the description below if you want to buy this game for yourself, because as I said, I'm not going to play this all the way through. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.